Hey everybody, welcome to the Ron Report. Today's guest, you probably knew him as Andre Miller, the owner of the TRT clinic Frontline Alternative, but he's got a whole new business too. It's called American Jerky King. Please welcome Andre Miller, aka the Jerky King.
The
Andre.
Jerky King is in the house. Hey guys, you know what, Ron? I started this company out of necessity because all the other jerky out there was garbage, loaded with sugar, didn't have the things that I needed to help, my body recover. I needed a wholesome snack that I could eat on a regular basis that would deter me from, jumping into the sweets, something that was salty, something that would help with muscle recovery, help me hold on to more water, of course, with the adding, and the concept behind the creatine was an accident. I didn't even think about it. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, there's so many products out there that have creatine in them. Why not jerky? I mean, because it comes from meat anyway, right? Yeah. So why don't we just add just a little bit more, not to make it, just to give you a little bit more creatine where you're microdosing it throughout the day. You're getting a little bit in every bite. The whole concept is just to make something that you could snack on and not have to worry about it putting on more pounds. We wanted a lean protein. I was tired of the shakes. I was tired of the protein bars. So driving all across the country with Frontline, going to visit our clients and things, when I would drive, pull up into a gas station or to a truck stop, I would go in there and look for jerky, but every single one of them had sugar in them. And I was looking for something that had zero.
Sorry.
And that was my biggest thing. I want to have as little sugar as possible to help me. I mean, really make this transformation that I've made. Has the biggest, most critical point was changing what I was eating and when I was snacking. And so when I started Jerky King, it was a snack for me, right? I just wanted to be able to get jerky that was clean, that had good protein content, that I could snack on and not have to worry about it. So I started introducing it to people. People would see it, like the girls at my office would see it on my desk and they'd come try it and they'd be like, Andre, this is amazing. And so I'd be passing it out to people and people would ask to taste it. And finally, enough people said, dude, you need to make this and sell it. It kind of pushed me into that ring. So we started making it and started selling it, and it started flying off the shelves. People ordering, 4 and 5 pounds at a time that we're shipping across the United States. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, because I remember we did an interview with you and your wife Karen about Frontline about almost a year ago, I want to say now. And no, maybe it wasn't that long ago, but you were starting to eat a lot of jerky. I remember that was your thing. Was that you made your own jerky originally? Obviously you can't make all this jerky to sell, but is that something you've known how to do your whole life? How to make jerky?
No, man. No, it was what really prompted it was I thought about the way the Indians and the pioneers ate. Pioneers and Indians weren't able to get fresh meat every day. The only way they ate meat, well, for the most part, was dried. And you started thinking about the physique of those people back then, and I was like, there's something to it. So I started, eating the jerky. It's still today, after almost 9 months, like my main source of food, nutrition. I literally carry a bag with me everywhere I go. Everybody knows the gold bags. They see the gold bag, they know what I got. So they either ask me if I've got something to sell, which I usually carry about 5 or 6 bags with me because I know that somebody's going to want to buy something.
Yeah, because I remember I told you, we were talking right before we started recording. When I met you a couple of years ago, I assume you've been a big stocky guy for your whole life, but you didn't look particularly bodybuilderish. You didn't have, I could tell even with your shirt on, you had substantial body fat, and you've made this transformation.
Oh yeah.
What was, you went all those years without ever seeing abs or anything. What made you decide all of a sudden I'm gonna get ripped and
I didn't even make a choice. It wasn't even a decision. It just started happening. And I just and I tell people all the time, like, I never planned it, so I didn't like do a staged follow up. Like I didn't start posting about my abs until the abs were there already, and then it was just it snuck up on me, and then I started seeing more. I honestly would catch images from either somebody's sunglasses or something. I'd be like, golly, that's starting to look good, and I was, and really, so we'd be out on the beach, and I'd be talking to somebody, and I'd be looking at myself in their sunglasses, and I was like, that's not. I thought it was like the glasses or a different angle or whatever, but it started. All these things started to happen, and the only thing that has changed, and I'm not going to be no liver king, so I'll always be honest about protocol and what did I do to help achieve this. Well, of course, there are definitely different medications that I needed to jump on. I'll just throw this out there. My IGF-1 was 98, so it was super low. I needed to do something about that. And of course, I've always been on TRT, but the biggest thing was changing my food, right? And then, I wake up in the middle of the night and eat beef jerky. I mean, you talk about these bodybuilders eating at different hours of the night. If I wake up and I go pee, I eat 3 or 4 ounces and go back to bed. So, I mean, I've got a constant source of protein going in there. It's lean. Of course, there are fatty pieces because you have to have fat too anyway. It's just, I can't even say enough about it. Like, if there was something that had a huge impact on my transformation, it would be like more of that carnivore type of lifestyle. But I couldn't carry around a bag of pre-cooked steak, and always have it ready to go. So, I have a couple of people that inspire me, and I see them eating, food out of bags all the time. But if I have a thing with, if I don't like it cold, it can only eat hot, then there's a problem there. So with the jerky, I can eat it at any temperature. It doesn't matter if it's warm or hot or cold,
True. I'm just curious what the weight difference, because like I said, when I met you, you were a big dude. You were very thick.
Yes.
You were a power lifter before, correct?
Well, that was mostly what I did because I didn't have the body of a bodybuilder, so I just ran with lifting heavy,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was so what I weighed as much as 260. Whenever we really started gauging the transformation, or not gauging, whenever we started really dialing in the jerky and getting it to where we liked it. The other big thing about the jerky was we've gone through a bunch of different cuts of meat to get to where we're at. I didn't want something that I didn't want something you had to jerk on. I literally didn't. That's why I always say jerking our meat isn't a thing. We want you to be able to bite it and then chew it and then not end up with a bunch of stuff in between your teeth. I would rather people not have to walk around with toothpicks to clean out their teeth. And the majority of the people that buy our jerky, that the reason they like it is because it's usually, it's crispy, it's tender. I mean, it's crispy and it kind of like melts in your mouth. It's the perfect thickness, consistency. And then of course this mango habanero thing. I mean, I don't know how much to it there is, but it's a thermogenic, right? So the habanero and the mango, for whatever reason, I mean, literally, if I'm driving for a good ways and I'm chomping all that stuff on the way there, if I stop to get out to use a restroom or something at a gas station, my whole midsection is just saturated with sweat from the thermogenic effect from the habanero.
Yeah, we were talking also about. I think I just passed it. This creatine we've been using it for years for building muscle, endurance, strength, things like that, improvements in those areas. But they're showing a lot more benefits for creatine lately. It's actually cool that it has these cognitive benefits.
Oh yeah,
This doctor's talking about it here. I don't know where you put that up from.
yeah. Well, like I said, that with the way the algorithm works, the more you talk about something, the more information that pops up, especially on Instagram. And so all these doctors posts started popping up on my feed about creatine. So what do I do? Of course, I want to be able to provide as much information. Why would you put creatine in meat? Because it's already in there. Well, a little bit more is not going to hurt, and so the idea is in each 8-ounce bag, we want to have around between 5 and 7 grams of creatine. So, you'd have to eat the whole bag in one day to get your full dose. So the idea isn't to replace what you would normally put in your body. It's really just to microdose what you're intaking.
Right on. Yeah. I'm just curious because you already have your hands full with running Frontline. It's a major company. I'm sure it's a lot of moving parts and people and customers. What made you? I know your wife is always supportive and encouraging, but were people around you like, Andre, you're crazy for wanting to do this beef jerky company on top of Frontline?
Yeah, I get that, but you know what? At the end of the day, like if you have a great support system, like I couldn't do it without my girls. My girls, they keep. I mean, between Ashlyn, Liz, and Karen, the wheels are greased, and nobody goes, gets neglected. I will say some of my social media stuff gets neglected. Like we have another group called Planet TRT and HCH Support, which is a group that just provides information, help. It's a place for peers to give each other advice, whether good, bad, or indifferent. And we try to moderate and make sure that nobody's giving out bad information. But it's the idea is really for people to be able to get together and talk about their protocols and what's working for them and what hasn't worked for them. Just to share information. And I have to be careful with that because I get a little bit too eager to share and put out stuff that gets me hate from Instagram and Facebook. So I have to use caution with the terms. It's funny. There's these steroid dealers that can have pages and talk all about whatever they want. But if I even post something about, I made a post about ketamine helping with, because ketamine is something we're going to be adding to a treatment plan when we get Dr. Glass in here and everything set up at the new office, because we want to do more to help more veterans, right?
Yeah.
So it was he sent me a link about ketamine helping people that have cocaine addiction. Anyway, long story short, I made a post about it, and of course got shadow banned. I couldn't post, couldn't respond to groups, so I have to be careful about how free I think my speech is.
Well, I have to remind you about something for Planet TRT, the group, because today is Friday, and traditionally you do a post saying it's Big Guns Friday. Show us your guns.
Yeah.
I think you forgot to do it last week.
I did. I again, like I said, I can't post on my page in my own group right now. So
it's shadow banned.
Yeah, until April 28th or something. They banned me for a whole month.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to play the rap song. Can I do that?
Do it.
A rap song made for Jerky King. All right, so let's take a listen, guys.
We have a
American Jerky King, featuring creatine in those 8-ounce bags of gains.
Yo, it's the American Jerky King, crown on the scene. Be so lean, it's the protein dream team. Rip that bag, 8 ounces of pure gains. Fuel for the hustle, power running through my veins. Creatine in the mix, yeah, I'm stacking that mass. Lifting heavy in the gym, watch the week get surpassed. Jerky so fire, it's a snack with a punch. Munching on the go, King's feast for lunch. American Jerky King, that's the name I sing. 8-ounce bags of gains, hear the power ring. Creatine loaded up, muscles gonna swing. From the streets to the weights, I'm the beefy bling king. To perfection, flavor hits the spot. Savory domination, no jerky comes close to this plot. 8 hours in my grip, I'm flexing on the grind. Creatine boosting reps, leave the doubters behind. Taste the glory, USA made pride. Jerky King's the champ, taking gains nationwide. No artificial junk, just a real deal bite. Power up my hustle day, turning into night. American Jerky King, that's the name I sing. 8-ounce bags of gains, hear the power ring. Creatine loaded up, muscles gonna swing. From the streets to the weights, I'm the beefy bling king. Try to ride, unleash the beast inside. Jerky fueling warriors, creatine's my ride. 8 ounces of gains, yeah, I'm stacking that stack. American Jerky King, ain't no turning back. So bow to the throne, the king's in the zone.
Wow. Who is that, Andre? We got to give that rapper some credit.
Hey, you know what? There is an AI for everything.
That was AI?
That was all AI. Yep.
Will you just say, make me a rap about Jerky King?
And I give it the guidelines on what I want, and then it just pops it out, and it gives you multiple choices. We even did one doing a poke at the Liver King.
Wow! So that's not even a real human voice. That's just completely.
Well, it's somebody's voice, but of course they of course augment it with their AI.
Oh, that is amazing. Jeez,
mm-hmm.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, if I hired a company to do that by themselves and an artist, it probably would have cost me 10 or 15 grand for one song, you know?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I assume that's what you did is you found some.
It took me 3 minutes.
Rapper.
3 minutes, you know, and no artist to pay.
I have to ask you, because you went to the Arnold Classic as the Jerky King.
I did.
Like that. I mean, that takes dude, it takes balls to walk around the Arnold Classic.
I use HCG. You know that, right?
No, that gives you big balls. But geez, yeah, I mean, were you like, oh man, what am I doing here, or did you
No,
just go?
you know what? To me, it's do or die. And if I want something to succeed, I can hire somebody to do what I'm going to do. But instead, nobody does it better than the person that's trying to, promote the product.
Yeah, I mean, I give you so much credit because, like I said, you're in Texas area. There's a lot of big jacked up guys. You could have said, "Hey, bud, I'll pay you a couple grand to walk around as the Jerky King at the Arnold Classic weekend." And that's what most supplement company owners do in things is they just find somebody who already looks great. But you whipped yourself into this shape over the course of the past year. You've done. I barely even recognize you anymore.
Yeah, no. Honestly, like that was the thing was that my wife and I made a cognitive decision that we were going to be the faces of our company and we weren't going to hire anybody else to be the faces of our company. We used a lot of excuses, as far as building the brand, traveling, all the things that you can use excuses for to justify our eating habits. Right? We made bad choices. And there was a couple of motivating text messages from some of the let's say influencers that I've used in the past. And so rather than get burn bridges or get burned, I would just rather do it myself. I probably got another good couple of years to do it on my own with the raise, get Xander jacked so he can, take over everything. The goal is, we keep him, we're coaching him on how to be an entrepreneur. So that way, when he grows up, he can either make a choice to go work for somebody or work for himself.
How old is he now?
He'll be 10.
Oh boy, you got plenty of time to turn this kid into.
Oh yeah, he's worked with us at every show. He's always helpful, and I mean everybody loves him because he's just so polite.
Wow. So the last thing I want to do is we discussed this, and I could take the easy road or the hard road here. You sent me the two different flavors, mild teriyaki, because even though I'm married to a Latina for many years, I am not Latino. So spicy foods, this is a real chance I'm taking here with. Mango habanero.
And I'll be honest with you, it's not as hot as the name sounds. It may have a little bit of a lingering burn, but I had one person that told me before he ate it that he wasn't good with hot food, and so one of the videos I asked, he was eating it, and I said, "So what do you think of the flavor?" And as I'm asking him this, his face is turning red, and I'm like, his head's starting to sweat already, but it's not that bad.
Okay, well, here goes nothing, Andre.
All right.
Delicious, but it's not killing me.
No, it's the idea is really just to have enough spice there to make things interesting. And honestly, I didn't even think about the case in our case. I don't remember the name of the word, but it's the property inside the habanero that turns it into a thermogenic.
Capsaicin, I think it is.
And that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, because some people are so obsessed with finding like the hottest ghost pepper and this pepper and that pepper. I'm like, no, dude, no.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it so hot that I have to, have to sign a waiver to eat it. Right. The idea was just enough. And people that don't like spicy even eat it, and they've said, oh, it's just an amount of spice to where it's not uncomfortable.
Cool. So you grew Frontline from a small company to a very big, successful company. I'm assuming you have grand designs for American Jerky King. What do you plan? Flavors, distribution? Is this something eventually we're going to see in like every 7-Eleven or Walmart? What are you thinking?
It's going to be in every gas station, every grocery store. We're going to go nationwide. I've got the right partners to help me. We're working with Cameron Davies at Davies Entertainment. A lot of the videos he'll be helping with. We're doing the whole marketing plan. Distribution will be done from their warehouse in downtown San Antonio, Texas. Manufacturing is going to be done there too. Right now, we're in the process of getting that manufacturing facility set up so that we're ready to go into the big stores.
Yeah, I would play up the creatine thing because, like I said, you're the only jerky in the world that I know of that's got creatine monohydrate infused in it on top of what's already in the red meat. So,
that's the hook, really. I mean, the creatine is the hook. I mean, that's the not for it to be a gimmick, but I'm honestly for it to you can the big thing also is the lack of sugar. 1 gram of sugar. Most have 3 to 6. You know, they use a lot of brown sugar in beef jerky in the process of making it to where it lasts longer. And then the other thing is I add mineral salt to the jerky also, so it's not just sodium; it's got actual mineral salt in it to help also.
Yeah, I mean, this is like you said. When you told me a while ago you were eating mostly jerky, I was like, oh boy, that doesn't sound like. The more I thought about it, I'm like, that's actually, especially if you've got it lean and very low in sugar, you know, that's probably almost close to the perfect protein source, especially for bodybuilders, serious weight trainers. So
Yeah, and you know, and also any of your endurance athletes, you know, the first thing we do when we're flushing water down our system when we're trying to train is we push out all of our electrolytes. You know, this replaces the electrolytes and helps with cramping. I mean, you have enough salt there that you knock out cramps pretty quick.
yeah. And finally, man, I have to thank you for totally committing to this interview with the throne, the outfit, everything, man. I mean,
Hey, Kelby Haynes helped me with all the graphics. She's here helping me, you know, with the throne and the, you know, making sure that I look good, sound good, all that good stuff. So I mean, that was she does a lot of stuff with the NPC and a lot of the other does a lot of the posters for a lot of the big shows. She definitely needs to get her props. So without her, I wouldn't have this badass freaking logo that she created, and I'm going to call it that because it is. And the work that she helps me with on the back end as far as making sure that, you know, we have quality artwork for whatever we're putting out.
the last thing I want to show is I got this shirt in the mail too. Thank you. But the front is cool, but the back I really want to show you. Can you read it?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. One of my favorite taglines as far as everybody wants to be a rock star in the bedroom and a beast in the gym.
I'm wearing this tomorrow for leg day, dude. Let's see.
Hey, you know the honest truth. I should have said the majority of our men at the clinic and our females just want to look good naked and be better performers for their spouses.
Dude, if you could do that and be a little more jacked, you're golden. You know, life is good.
Oh, it is. It is. You know, and then Karen and I always share our stories with people because, you know, you can get distant really, really quick from your spouse because of work and family and friends and just activities. And we forget, you know, the importance of flirting and dating and all those things that you know, just like you. I mean, how do you stay married for as long as you do and keep the fire there? Well, when the fire starts to dwindle, we got to find out why, and then we got to reignite that flame.
Yeah.
I
agree more.
So many people find it so much easier to leave than just to fix what's there, you know.
Oh, I mean, I'm blessed. It'll be 35 years for me in June that I've been married to Janet, and it's not easy staying married these days in this industry. But boy, what a blessing she has been in my life. So it's like I know Karen has been a huge blessing in your life as well.
She's the one that, you know, that inspire, you know, she keeps me inspired. She just says, you know, you can do anything you want, just go out there and do it, and you got my back. I got your back. I mean, we literally sold our house, you know, to start Frontline, and she never balked once, you know.
Wow, that's a ride or die, as they say, a ride or die.
He is definitely a ride or die, and you know, I'd like to grab her and bring her on the next interview because, you know, her transformation from the beef jerky and protocols, you know, is phenomenal. Also, I mean, she's starting to get to where she can see her abs, and you know, she just follows suit. Like, she sees what I'm doing, and she checks to see how it's going to work, and then if it works, then she's going to jump on board. So, awesome. Very, very similar situation where, you know, she's in the best shape of her life, and we're 47 and 51, so we guess we've matched that president of ours.
Who's 47? You or are you 51?
I'm 51. She's 47.
You're kids, man. I'll be 56 in a few months. You're kids.
I got a long ways to go. I'm excited.
Yeah, you still got a lot of good years, man. All right, well, I appreciate it so much, Andre. Thanks for the samples. The cool shirt.
I got to show the odds off.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this: did you have abs when you were younger, and you just went years without ever seeing them?
No. I got abused. I got abused when I was younger, and I turned to food and I got fatter to turn people away from me.
Wow.
And you know, those things, you don't realize how much they resonate with you until things change. And so for me, it's this is all new. So I mean, you know, for me to be running around without a shirt on is is very different to me. You know, it's like it was so funny at the American Fit. I mean, at the Arnold was to have somebody's wife and husband, and then her husband like sending his wife over to get a picture with me. You know, and I was like, I'm not anybody, and so we had all these kids running up to me wanting to take pictures with me, and I was like, Chef, I didn't do it. But had I not been with Chef, he's always been super supportive. He was the one that said, I told him, I said I want to launch this jerky thing at the I want to keep saying American Fit Expo at the Arnold, and he was like, and I kind of sent him some pictures of the outfit, and he's like, basically he said, if you wear it, you better own it.
No, that's amazing because you're 51 years old. You went 50 years without ever seeing your abs.
Yeah.
Most people would say, well, that's it. Life, it's all downhill from here. Oh, well, but talk about better late than never. Perfect living proof right here.
Oh yeah. I've got some guys already that have been on my program. I have one that lives in Washington, and he's lost 140 pounds.
Wow.
Since he started the Jerky King, or the jerky and the protocol. He's a consistent. Every week he orders 4 pounds of jerky.
Yeah, amazing. Wow. Well, you keep doing God's work, man. I mean, you're changing lives, whether you portray it that way or not. You're definitely improving lives and uplifting people's spirits, and just giving a lot of people a better quality of life through Frontline. And now, Jerky King, eating a bag of this instead of a bag of donuts. Come on.
Exactly. I mean, this is the whole thing.
Yeah. So
it's the just like you said, our one of our taglines is saving and changing lives one American at a time.
You're doing it, man. So appreciate what you're doing for everybody. Appreciate you coming on. And that's it, guys. It's been Ron Line Report. You can go to American Jerky King on Instagram, or of course, AmericanJerkyKing.com to try out this amazing product. Delicious. The mango habanero did not kill me. So my fellow gringos, you're okay. You're safe with that. It's all right. That's it. So thank you so much, Andre. Appreciate you doing this.
Hey, Ron, we appreciate you too. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
All right. That's it, guys. We'll see you right here.